It's a bad man thing, yeah. Oh Lord of His mercy. Hey.
Alright, so today I'm going to do a video talking about sleep training, baby sleep training, getting Cam on a good sleep schedule, sleeping through the night, all that stuff, nighttime routine. I just posted a video, and this video was requested quite a lot because I just posted a video putting together Cam's crib. So the video, we just showed like getting the new crib, putting it in his own room, setting it up, rearranging the room, and then, you know, putting him in his crib to like get him used to it and stuff like that. So a lot of you guys asked me to do like a video talking about, so how was it? Did he sleep in it? Did he like it? And you know, do you have a routine for him? Does he sleep through the night? Let me start with, and I think I want to do a separate video on like putting a baby on a schedule, because we started Kamsi on a schedule the day he came back from the hospital, and I kept up with it, and it's been the same schedule we've been doing since like till today. Obviously it's been modified and changed a little bit based on him growing and stuff like that. They don't sleep as much as they used to when they were like as they were little, but we kept the same element of it. So I'll do a separate video on that because it gets into more detail, but having a schedule like that helps with transitioning from co-sleeping in a bassinet to a crib. So Kamsi's been sleeping in a bassinet, co-sleeping with us next to our bed since he's been born. And I kind of I wanted to, I didn't really have a date. Okay, when Kamsi's this age, he's gonna go to a crib in his own room. I was kind of like and kind of the way that I did with the sleep training, kind of just like go with him and how he acts and how he's developing. So I knew it was time for him to come out of his bassinet when he was too big for it. He started to roll on his stomach in the nighttime, and he just moves around more because, you know, as babies, when babies are little, they don't move that much in their sleep, but as they get older they do. So Kamsi was like rolling everywhere. So those three things helped me know that, okay, it's time for him to be in his own crib. So I got the crib for him, and as I said, the video about the crib and what a crib I got, check out that video. So when I got his crib, I was trying to debate, should I put the crib in our room for a little bit and then put the crib in his own room, or just put the crib in his room and he just goes to his room like off the bat, you know. So I was kind of juggling with that, and I chose to put the crib in his own room and have him start out in the crib in his own room right away, you know, because the reason why is because when he was in his bassinet, I felt like he knew that he was sleeping in my room, like in our room with us, and I'm right there. So during the times he would wake up in the night, he would wake up, not that he was hungry, but just to like feel like someone to hold him. And as soon as I held him, he would fall back asleep. So I felt like he did that because he knew that I was there. Oh, he's awake now. Cam, let me go get him. Okay. Okay, Cam. All right, so as I was saying, I felt like he knew that, you know, I was there with him. So when he wake up in the middle of the night, he just knew that, oh, I would just pick him up and then cuddle him and he go back to sleep. So as I said, not that he was hungry, but just that he knew I was there. So I said, okay, I want to break that habit of wanting to be cuddled in the middle of the night. So I said, let me just have him out of the room, you know what I mean? So he learns that I'm not going to always be right there when he sleeps. So when the crib came, I said, I want to transition carefully with him so that it's not just like cold turkey in the crib, let him cry it out. Because I didn't want to do the cry it out method. Not that like I don't believe in it, but just like let me see if there's a way I can avoid it, you know what I mean? So I don't have to do cry it out. So so I said, okay, crib is here in his room. I made sure that the room was like, you know, he knows the room well. He's always changes in there and he plays in there. So the room is not unfamiliar with him. I just made sure that I got sheets from Target, but I know that he likes like the chenille furry thing. So I got a chenille kind of plushy fur sheet from Amazon, and I put that on and I put a padding so it's nice and soft. So and then the room is perfect temperature. He doesn't like to get too hot in his sleep because it wakes him up. So I just made sure that the room is like cool, nice and cool for him. So bed is comfy, perfect for him. So what we did was the first week, so I said, it's 1 week to train, you know what I mean? So the first week, all naps were in his crib, and then nighttime, what are you looking at? And then nighttime, we would still put him in the bassinet in our room, just so he got used to it eventually, and then eventually we'll transition. So all naps we did were in his room. It usually takes 2 to 3 naps in a day, so all the naps were in his crib, in his room, and the first week he blew the naps out the water. Like, it was, he did so well. So well. So I was like, good, okay, step 1 is complete. You did so well. He usually sleeps anywhere from 1.5 hours to 3 hours on his naps. So that's what he was doing through his naps, you know, when he first started with his crib. So naps, good. First week, bam. So another reason why I picked a good time for him to start training to sleep in his bed, in his room, is because I knew I was starting back work the next week. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, he's trained well and he has his own place, so that, you know, if I'm not here, my husband's here, my mother-in-law is taking care of him, you know, everything has its place. It's not like, oh, put in the bassinet with us, you know, stuff like that. I know my hair is different, okay. So yeah, so after the first week, so the first night we did for nighttime was a Sunday night. No, it was a Saturday night, and it was in his room, and we have a monitor. So it was funny is that it was harder for me than it was for Cam, you know, for the new routine, because it's like someone that you've slept next to for the past, you know, 7 months, your baby, you know, always there with you. And then this is the first time that he's away from me, sleeping that long, far away for that long. It was hard for me. So the first night we did our regular routine, and he doesn't take a bath every night, but now with the new, you know, sleep place, I wanted to get a little bit more regular schedule with the bath. So usually we do a bath like every 2 days or every other day, but more every like maybe like every 2 days. But now it's like either every day or every other day, just depending on, you know, who's at nighttime with him, you know, stuff like that. So it's either every night or every other night. And then next time we don't do a bath, we just get our washcloth and then do a full like wipe down, you know what I mean? So it's like the bath, it's like a bath without the tub and stuff. So the cloth is still, you know, soaked wet, wiped down and dried off, and then lotion, you know, all that stuff like that. So he still has a sense of being wiped down and the nighttime routine without having the bath aspect of it every night. So that was that. So Saturday night did that. We had a good bath, you know, had our bottle for dinner, last bottle of the night, and then put him in his crib, and he slept. So since Cam has been doing very well, since about like 6 weeks, I would say, he only wakes up 1 time in the night since 6 weeks old, which I'm thankful for. So as he's gotten older, that time that he wakes up for that feeding has gotten later and later and later. When he was a baby, he was like around 1 a.m. Then it changed a little 2. Then it was 3 a.m. And then now it's like 5 a.m. Sometimes 4, sometimes 6. But it's like the average is 5 a.m. he'll wake up for like a feeding. So usually wakes up for feeding, then goes straight back to sleep, and then wakes up a couple hours later for the day. So at this time of, you know, with his crib, it was like 5 a.m. is when he would wake up for a feeding, and then go straight back to sleep, and then wake up like around 8:30 for the day. So that first night, it was the same. You know, he didn't wake up looking for cuddles. He just woke up for food, you know. And because sometimes he'll wake up for cuddles at like maybe like 1 a.m. or so, you know, some stuff like that, randomly. Not every night, but some nights, like when he knows that I'm there, you know. So that first night he woke up, and it was like 5 a.m. woke up for a food. I fed him there, and then straight back to sleep, and then up at 8:30. So it's been going on like that very well for the past, you know, weeks that he's been in his bed. And then now we noticed that some nights he started not waking up at all up until 8:30, like 8 o'clock, 8:30, 7:45, you know what I mean? So now I feel like he's transitioning out of that early morning bottle, the 5 a.m. bottle, and just, you know, going all through until, you know, 8 o'clock, 8:30. So, which is good. My method, I was kind of just like going with the flow, going with him, how he's developing and how he's doing, and not trying to like be like, okay, we're gonna cut this out and not do it anymore and then cry it out, you know. I just felt like, you know, there wasn't any pressing need for me to drastically change anything or cut anything out, because I felt like he was developing really well on time for him, you know. So I think it was good for me to just go with the flow. Our night routine starts at it starts at 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock is when he should be awake from his last nap. So his last nap could have been any time, but sometimes it could be at 7. He'll go for a nap, his last nap, and it'll be an hour, because I always wake him up at 8. Or maybe at 6 o'clock he'll go up for a nap and have a 2-hour nap, and then I'll wake him up at 8, or he wakes up by himself at 8. But 8 o'clock, whether if it's that last 10-minute nap or 15 or 30 minutes, sometimes we have like 30-minute, 45-minute nap, but 8 o'clock done. And we wake up, we have a bottle, then we have puree food or solids, and then we have another bottle. And that last bottle is the bottle before bed. And then a bedtime, like a bath time. So 8 o'clock bottle, like let's say like 8 o'clock bottle, 9 o'clock puree food, 10 o'clock upstairs, maybe I would say like 9:30, because like our bath routine, nighttime routine takes probably like 30-45 minutes. So like 9:30 upstairs, like I'm trying to target 10 o'clock for sleep. So like 9:30 go up, either do like a rub down or like have a full bath, and then lotion up, do a little baby massage, put on his PJs, and then give him his bottle, and then he's down for bed. So by 10 o'clock, you know, he's drinking his bottle and getting ready to, well, he's already like half asleep usually when he's drinking that bottle, but having that bottle and then for bed. And then after he finishes his bottle, sometimes he doesn't finish all of it, but after he's done eating and he falls asleep, then I just put him in his bed and leave the room and close the door. So that's it. So it's been going on for like almost a month now, and he's been doing well, and he's been transitioning out of having that early morning bottle, so just sleeping from 10 until like 8:30, 8 o'clock ish. So yeah, so it's been going very well. He never had a time that he cried in the night because he was in his crib. Never had a time that I tried to put him down for a nap and he didn't want to be in there and he cried, and I had to be like, you have to learn to be in your crib, you know. He always loved it from the beginning. I felt like we made it like a nice, comfortable, safe, fun place for him to sleep. So we never had a time where we had to train him to be like, nope, you got to stay in here, you know. So, which was good. What else did I want to say? What else did I want to say, Cam? So we talked about getting ready for bed. We talked about our bed. As I said, having him on a schedule. I'll do a separate video on that because it goes into more detail. But that helps set up for a successful like nighttime schedule, and like a sleeping through the night kind of thing for your child, is putting them on a schedule as early as possible. And then yeah, having him in there, as I said before, it was hard. It was harder for me than it was for him. The first week that he was sleeping there in the nighttime, I didn't sleep because I kept looking at the monitor because I was so worried about him. I was like, he's so far away. Like, and there's time like I teared up, I cried a little bit, telling Chris, and he was like, I sure you don't want to bring him back in the room, just put the crib in here. In my mind, I'm just like, no, like we gotta, you know, stick to what we were doing, you know, don't regress back. But my heart was just like, yeah, I want him to come back. I miss my baby. But I actually talked to my sister about it and was telling her how I felt. And then she made me feel better because she was kind of reminding me that I'm not the only one. I'm not the only mom that feels like that. I'm not the only one that went through this, you know. So she made me feel better. Kim. She made me feel better. After I talked to Nky, then all that went away, and I was able to sleep through the night, like good sleep, and not worry about him in the middle of the night and stuff like that. So yeah, so it was harder for me, right, Kim? Mommy was being the baby. You're being the big kid, huh? Ooh, your diaper is full. Your diaper is full. Okay. Anything else you want to say, Kim? You like your bed, like your crib, your room? You have good sleeps in there, huh? Good sleeps. Good sleeps. Oh, look at your hair. It needs to be brushed. Other than that, yeah, so that was our method for getting him in his crib, sleeping peacefully through the night. And yeah, and then also just remember that everyone has like their way of doing things, and everybody has, you know, the guidelines that they read, you know, about, you know, schedules and stuff like that. But not every baby is the same, you know. For example, like Cam, he didn't like to be swaddled. So after he got back home from the hospital when he was born, he never was swaddled again. He didn't like it, you know. And they always say, like, and I believe that babies sleep better when they're swaddled and stuff, but he just didn't like it, so we didn't do it, you know. There was that. And then also that early morning feeding, you know, I've heard like, oh, if you want to wean them off of it, just give them a little bit of formula, and then eventually they won't want it. And I thought about doing that, and I think I attempted it, like, to start it one time, and then I was just like, you know what, let me just continue what I was doing and just going with the flow of him. And eventually I am noticing that he's starting to like wean off of that early morning feeding, you know. So most of the nights he doesn't wake up at that 5 a.m. to have a bottle, you know. Now he's waking up at, you know, his regular time, like 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, and he's had a full great night's sleep. So I know there's many types of sleep trainings. Like I've heard like the Ferber method, taking care of babies, you know, crying it out, all that stuff. But do what works for you, and stick to it. You know what I mean? It won't be easy in the beginning, but you just have to stick to it so that eventually they learn and catch on and adapt to it. You know, you can't do something then fall back or regress back and then try something else, because, you know, as we know, you know, babies thrive with schedules and routine. So you got to stick to one thing and just, like, you know, tough it out. So anyways, Cam just woke up from his nap and to change his diaper, get him his lunch. You trying to crawl away? And I'll see you guys in the next video. As I said, I'll do a video talking about routines, like his daytime routine, and putting him on a schedule. And then I'll do like an 8-month baby update. Cam will be 8 months on the 21st of May. So I'll do like an 8-month update and let you guys know how Cam's been. Cam, can you see yourself? Is that a Cammy baby? Is that a Cammy baby? Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Say bye-bye. 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 Bye, guys.
Stand up. Yeah. It's a bad man thing, yeah. Oh Lord of His mercy. Hey, his body, baby, oh. Hey, his body, baby, oh. Bulaka, it's a bad man thing. See, I'm a, it's a bad man thing.